welcome back to everybody on the Football Zone and to a weekend previewing the Premier League action this weekend. But firstly, reviewing the League Cup action from this past week. We finished Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 3 in the game between two remaining EFL clubs. Middlesbrough getting to the semi-finals. A huge achievement for the Championship side. Howson, Rodgers and Crooks with the goals. And you can really tell the divisional class between these two sides here. Middlesbrough, had more of the game, but I think also were just a lot more clinical. Port Vale, they're really strong cut run goes to the end, but for Middlesbrough, what a draw for them. Moving on then, they get to Everton 1, Fulham 1, with Everton losing on penalties. It was Keane with an own goal who gave Fulham the lead before Beto equalised late on, but it was Onana with a terrible miss and Guy missed for Everton. It was Bobby Reid who missed for Fulham, Adrabayo scored the winning penalty. But for Fulham, really, really strong win for them. They'll be absolutely delighted with that. Great season they're having. Everton, they'll be frustrated, but I think, need to make sure this doesn't take away from their momentum in the league. Chelsea got a comeback win against Newcastle at the Bridge, with Callum Wilson giving Newcastle the lead in the 16th minute before Mudryk equalised in the 92nd minute. Thanks to a terrible error from Trippier. And then we had Trippier miss a penalty and Matt Ritchie also missed a penalty. Not a good afternoon for Kieran Trippier, I think that's fair to say. For Chelsea, I think they definitely had the best of the game here and undoubtedly deserving of going through here. I think Newcastle will be frustrated, but the injuries, you can really tell, really are starting to have a major effect on them now. But moving on then to the Wednesday's game, and it was Liverpool 5, West Ham 1. Szoboszlai, Jones, Gatko we made it 3-0 before Bowen made it 3-1, but late goals from Salah and Curtis Jones made it 5-1. And Liverpool kind of put out a relatively strong team, brought the star players off the bench and got their reward. They're now, I'd say, Chelsea in it as well, but I'd say Liverpool are strong favourites to win the Cup. But for West Ham, they'll be really disappointed. Just didn't put a team out, and I don't really understand it. Quarter of the final of the Cup, Liverpool is always going to be tough. Just go for it, do you know what I mean? But moving on into the Premier League action, starting off on Thursday night, with Crystal Palace against Brighton. And this is a really interesting one. Palace will be looking to obviously take momentum from that incredible comeback against Man City last time out, but Brighton as well, losing to Arsenal last time out. So they'll be looking to respond. Obviously we know that there's no love lost between these two teams, this will definitely be a really intriguing one. Brighton, you probably say the best team. Palace, their home atmosphere, we know it can get bouncing at Selhurst Park. I don't know, I'm going to say it'll even out and cause a draw. Moving on into Friday, and we've got Aston Villa taking on Sheffield United at Villa Park. And Aston Villa have the chance to go top of the Premier League. What an achievement that would be if they could do it. And taking on the Sheffield United side, who obviously got that win against Brentford under Chris Wilder, but since then that loss to Chelsea kind of cancelled things out. And I think Villa's home form is so good, anything other than a big home win here would definitely be a shock. Moving on into Saturday's fixtures, and West Ham taking on Manchester United in the early game. A game that I'm really intrigued by. Liverpool obviously beating West Ham 5-1 in the League Cup, but West Ham's form in the Premier League with that 3-0 win over Wolves hasn't been too bad. And Manchester United, obviously, that point against Liverpool last night, a point in the right direction. Now we're looking to continue the momentum from that into this one. But definitely a tough away game, and one that I could see going either way personally, but I'm going to say it will be a 1-1 draw. Moving on then to Fulham as they take on Burnley at Craven Cottage. And Fulham's last two games at Craven Cottage have been 5-0 and 5-0, which doesn't particularly bode well for a Burnley team. And it's not like it's a great Burnley team either. It's a Burnley team that is very much struggling. There's not much more to say. I just had such high hopes for Burnley with the way they played in the Championship last season, and it's just not come to fruition. I can't really see it changing here, to be honest. I'm going to say it will be another Fulham win. Moving on then to Luton as they take on Newcastle at Kenilworth Road. Luton losing their last three games, but of course their last game lost to Man City. With obviously what happened to Tom Lockyer last weekend, that didn't count. And fingers crossed he's on the mend. It does sound like it. Luton I think they'll see this as an opportunity against the Newcastle team that's really struggled recently. Obviously, very much hampered by injury. They'll make it uncomfortable for Newcastle. I'm going to say Newcastle will get a much needed win now. I'm going to say it'll be 3-1. Moving on into Forest as they take on Bournemouth at the City Ground. And Forest, first game since Steve Cooper's been sacked and replaced by Nuno Espirito Santo. And to be honest, I just really don't get it. I don't see how Cooper, with a great job he did at that club, is really going to be improved upon by Nuno, who, did a very good job at Wolves, but Steve Cooper did a very good job at Forest, and of course obviously flopped at Spurs. I didn't see it. Bournemouth from decent form, but I still think the new manager backs will give Forest the edge here. I'm going to say they'll get through. Moving on into Tottenham as they take on Everton at White Hart Lane. And Tottenham, I kind of feel like very much back to the Tottenham we saw at the beginning of the season. I think the way they've been playing, obviously, very much reminded the start of the season. The results kind of shown that recently, but Everton on a great run. It'll be interesting to see if that League Cup penalty loss will affect them. I don't think it will. Sean Dyche has got a strong mentality around that squad at the moment, but I think the quality that Spurs have at the moment may be a bit too much for Everton here. I'm going to say it'll be 2-0. Moving on into Liverpool as they take on Arsenal at Anfield. And Liverpool coming into this one, obviously off the back of that Carabaocup win, Arsenal, had a free week, which maybe could be a bit of an advantage for them. But I think these two teams are so evenly matched. Both teams on their day, first v second, of course, can be so good. But both teams, I think, they are susceptible to an off day. It's not like Man City teams we've seen get 100 in the past. But this is such an evenly matched game, I think, between two so good sides. I can see nothing but an entertaining 2-2 draw. But moving on into Wolves v Chelsea game on Christmas Eve for some reason, which is pretty mad. But I think Wolves coming into this one, I don't know, obviously they've been about up and down Wolves. You never really know what you're going to expect from them, but Chelsea maybe just signs of some uptick in form. Who knows with Chelsea? I think both these teams are quite really hard to call at the moment. But I kind of feel like it's one that could go either way. Chelsea with more than momentum, so I'm going to say that they will just about edge it. I'm going to say scoreline will be 2-1. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and daily film news and Scottish channels. Going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.